Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kajal Dave and you're watching Kajal Dave Vlogs. So today we are going to create a Christmas look and I'm starting my makeup with my favorite Bobbi Brown face base and I'm going to massage it really well in my skin so that मेरी skin बहुत अच्छे से hydrate हो. Christmas मतलब winters and winters में आपकी skin hydrated होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. For my pores and all, I'm going to use my Nykaa Prep Me Primer. I just love this primer. If you have oily skin or open pores, this one is really good. I'm using it on my T-zone so that कि वहाँ पे ही सबसे ज़्यादा मेरा base break होता है. So उस area के लिए specifically I use this primer. I'm using my Mars eyebrow pencil. I'm going to fill my brows really well. The tip of this Mars pencil is really fine, जिसकी वजह से मुझे hair like strokes बनाने में बहुत easy होता है. And yeah, I'm filling my brows. Actually, I'm filling the gaps of my brows. My brows are very scanty, so I like to fill the gaps of my brows first. And साथ ही साथ मैं इसे बहुत अच्छे से map out भी कर लेती हूँ ताकि थोड़े से मेरे brows fuller and healthy दिखे, जो कि वो naturally है नहीं. I try to make my brows as identical as I can. But जब वो नहीं हो पाता है तो वो नहीं हो पाता, जब वो हो पाता है तो वो हो जाता है. Then I'm using my Maybelline brow tattoo to set my brows so that कि एक बार मैं मेकअप स्टार्ट करूँ तो मेरे brows हिले ना. Using my PAC का Take Cover concealer, I am just going to conceal, as in concealer के साथ मैं अपने brows को अच्छे से shape दे रही हूँ. Cleaning of any excess product जो भी borders के बाहर आया है, या फिर I'm just going to give it a very clean look as much as I can again. And yeah, I'm just going to clean off the edges, give it a nice shape. And जो बचा कुचा concealer है, I'm going to use it on my eyelids as a base so that मेरे eyeshadows अच्छे से pop हो सके. Using my PAC or PAC concealer brush, I am just going to blend out that concealer really well, even around my eyebrows, ताकि वो एक flawless look दे, ना कि एक straight line. Using my K Beauty का loose powder in the shade Banana, I am going to set my eyelids with it so that there is no tackiness, ना ही मेरे जो concealer है वो crease करे. Using my Huda Beauty का Empowered palette, I am going to take the shade Best Self as my transition color so that एक अच्छा सा transition create हो सके. And I'm going to put it on my crease and blend it really well using the windshield wiper motion, and that's the best technique to put your transition shade. Now I'll be taking another shade. This shade is like a deeper mahogany brown. It's called Legacy, and I'm going to place it on the outer corner of my eyes and I'm going to blend it over there. And थोड़ा सा मैं उसे अंदर की तरफ भी ला रही हूँ ताकि जो मेरा transition color है वो थोड़ा और deepen हो सके. For this look we are going to do a cut crease look. So for me to blend this thing really well is very important. Now taking this shade from the same palette, Big Dreams, I'm going to place it on my outer corner only. And I'm trying to create a V with it so that a darker outer corner create ho sake. Taking the same concealer, I am going to now cut the crease. उसके लिए मैं पहले अपना कंसीलर अपने आईलेट की तरफ लगा रही हूँ एंड देन आई एम ट्राइंग टू लुक अप सो दैट एक गाइडलाइन बन सके एंड लेटर मैं उसी गाइडलाइन को ट्रेस करके अपना कट क्रीज क्रिएट कर रही हूँ. To create the cut crease, the important motion over here is like dab, or else you can have a little swipe motion so that वो cut crease एक अच्छी तरीके से बन सके. So for cut crease, the important thing is to use a nice flat brush with a rounded tip ताकि आपके जो eyeballs का जो area है उसे वो अच्छे से carve कर सके. After a very long time, I am creating a cut crease look. I remember doing this a lot in 2016, 2015, but it's been a really long time कि मैंने ये look create किया. और last मुझे याद है मैं अपनी wedding पे किया था, and after that now. So I'm using the same procedure. I'm doing the same procedure again on my other eye, looking up and creating a guideline and then trying to trace the guideline. Using a dab motion is the best thing that you can do for cut crease look. Dab and swipe. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपको थोड़ा सा डिटेलिंग की ज़रूरत है तो जितना हो सके आप अपनी आँखों के मतलब यू हैव टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन दिस. तो अगर आपको चाहिए यू हैव टू कीप वन आई क्लोज एंड द अदर आई ओपन सो दैट यू कैन सी प्रॉपरली कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं. Now using the shade Limitless, it's like a nice bronze goldenish kind of a glitter shade. Now it's a very creamy shade, okay, so you need to be very careful with it. I am going to place it on my cut crease that I have created, and मैंने कोशिश की थी कि उसे अच्छे से स्वाइप करके लगाओ, बट द बेस्ट टेक्निक जो मैंने इस शेड के साथ या इस क्रीमी तरीके के टेक्सचर के ग्लिटर शेड के साथ मैंने डिस्कवर किया दैट यू जितना हो सके आप उसे स्वाइप डाउन कीजिए. मैं यहाँ पे स्वाइप साइड वे करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ तो मुझे उतना पिगमेंट नहीं मिल पा रहा है, पर जब मैंने दूसरी आँख पे स्वाइप डाउन किया तो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से इसे यूज़ करने जम रहा. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप स्वाइप डाउन या स्वाइप जितना हो सके उसे स्वाइप करने की ट्राई कीजिए तो आपको शेड अच्छा मिलेगा. And you will also get the best pigment out of it. These shadows are really nice. I love Huda Beauty's eyeshadow. In fact मेरे पास mostly उसी के eyeshadows है. So I love the pigment. I love these textures. So yeah, this particular shade can feel a little heavy on your eyelids, but once you're habitual to it आपको उससे ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Using the shade Bold Moves, I'm going to use it for my inner corner to highlight it so that it looks really nice, cleaning off any fallout that I have. With such looks you kind of have to be careful जब आप fallout clean कर रहे हो, because fallout clean करते करते आपको एक winged look भी देना है अपने eye look को, जो आपको it looks snatched. Now using my rose gold palette from Huda Beauty, I'm going to take the dark shade from it. It's called Black Truffle, and I'm going to place it on my outer corners, and I'm going to blend it. And then I'm going to use my MAC eyeliner, and I'm going to try to create a nice small chutu wing. Now on this particular shade of glitter that I've used on my eyes, a shimmery shadow, eyeliner उसके ऊपर उतने अच्छे से पिगमेंट नहीं दे पा रहा था, इसलिए मैंने छोटे छोटे स्ट्रोक्स दे के मैंने वो eyeliner क्रिएट किया. On such looks, eyeliner can be a really tricky thing. I would highly recommend you कि अगर आप इस तरीके का look create कर रहे with such glitter shade to use gel eyeliner. I don't know, I was not able to find my gel eyeliner, so I used this one. But yeah, it took me a while to like do the wing, and I was not that much happy क्योंकि wing उतना अच्छा आ नहीं रहा था, and eyeliner का भी pigment उतने अच्छे से दिख नहीं रहा था. Using a wipe, I am gently going to clean the pigment of my eyebrows, जो भी आई शेडो का एक्स्ट्रा पिगमेंट उस एरिया में गया, ताकि मैं उस स्पेस को थोड़ा क्लियर कर सकूँ for the highlighter. I'm going to curl my lashes now because I'm going to apply some really nice mascara. This is my Maybelline का mascara Hyper Curl, and I'm going to use it because I actually wanted to use lashes, and जब भी मैं lashes use करती हूँ I prefer to use a very light mascara. Now since वो pigment इतने अच्छे से दिख नहीं रहा है eyeliner का, I have decided to put a black eyeshadow on it. I'm using the same black truffle eyeshadow, and now I'm going to use my lashes. मैंने अपने normal lashes को cut किया है 2 हिस्सों में ताकि application easy हो सके. But I don't know why after applying the lashes I was just not happy the way it was looking, and I don't know, I felt like शायद इसके लिए मेरे natural eyelashes would be better option. So मैंने eventually मैंने ये lashes निकाल दिए because I was just not happy the way it was looking. Then again I took my eyeliner and I had to, because glue लग चुका था and glue ने वो peel off कर लिया था, तो मैंने eyeliner लगाया, and that is the time I decided to make a inner wing towards like in my inner corner of my eyes so that वो थोड़ा सा pointy दिखे. So now taking my Huda Beauty ka Rose Gold palette, I have used 2 eyeshadow palettes, Empowered and Rose Gold. I am going to use Moon Dust from the Rose Gold palette, and I'm going to highlight my brow bones. And then I'm going to use my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'm going to coat my eyelashes really well. मैंने पहले भी mascara लगाया था, but since मैं eyelashes नहीं use कर रही हूँ, I'm going to use this mascara because this mascara can actually create the illusion of having fuller and those fake eyelashes wala appearance. Like your eyelashes look really well with this mascara. अगर किसी के lashes उतने अच्छे नहीं है, I would highly recommend for this mascara. Now I'm using my Maybelline ka Super Stay foundation, and I love this foundation. It's a Lumi Matte foundation. I'm going to use it on my face with a beauty blender. Now this blender I got from DIY, and I like the way it feels. I mean मैंने उसे soak किया था water में and the size just doubled. So this is a really good beauty blender from DIY. And yeah, I'm just going to apply the entire base of my face with a beauty blender today. The shade which I'm using of this foundation is 128. Now the 128 in Superstay looks exactly like my skin tone, but the 128 in Fit Me looks like one or two shade brighter. I don't know why, जबकि दोनों का numbers and series सब same है, फिर भी दोनों का appearance बहुत अलग होता है मेरी skin पे. When I want a nice glowy finish, I use this foundation. I'll be using my Fit Me concealer, and actually I'm going to apply concealer in a very different way from which I usually do. I have actually tried to create a triangle like shape, but more like a 90-degree wala triangle. And I am just going to try to highlight my inner corner with this concealer and all the parts of my face which I want to highlight, like my chin, the bridge of my nose, my forehead. एक थोड़ा सा sculpted look की तरफ हम जा रहे हैं इस look के लिए. So I am just going to use this concealer as more like a highlighter, less like a concealer. सो इफ़ यू आर स्टिल वॉचिंग द वीडियो, इसका मतलब है कि आपका ये वीडियो पसंद आ रहा है. सो अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आ रहा है तो लाइक शेयर और सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कीजिए. आई हैव इवन मेंशन माई इंस्टाग्राम ID. यू कैन गो एंड फॉलो मी ऑन इंस्टाग्राम एज वेल. Coming back to my concealer, I am spending a lot of time to blend it out, and that is again a very important step to do. You cannot just leave your concealer like that looking creasy and all. And even while blending, you have to keep in mind that you do not have to disturb your ongoing eyeshadow. उसे बिल्कुल भी डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना है. इनफैक्ट उसका जो शेप है उसी को फॉलो करके हमें कंसीलर अप्लाई करना है. Once we are done applying the concealer and blending it, we are going to set it with my Huda Beauty ka ube powder. You can use any other setting powder. Just make sure it is like a little bit in pinkish shade so that way highlighted look mil sake. I am going to use this powder everywhere that I have applied my concealer, and then the rest of the face I'm going to set it with my MAC Studio Fix in the shade NC25. I'm setting my entire face with it, and trust me, I love this powder. I'm not even kidding. It gives a nice satiny finish. At the same time, it mattifies your face as well. And ये बहुत कम ऐसे powders होते हैं जो ये कर पाते हैं. Using my Nykaa contour and highlight palette, I'm going to use the contour of this particular palette because I love the way it sits on my skin, and it's a very cool tone, neutral shade to create more defined look. I'm going to use the same contour for my nose. I'm going to contour my nose, my cheeks, a little of my forehead, and even my double chin. The double chin needs to be contoured. Even with your contour, you have to make sure that you blend it really well. I am again giving a lot of time for blending because you don't want any sort of harsh line on your face of that contour. Once I'm done blending my contour, I am going to move forward to my blush. And for blush, I'll be using my Maybelline palette. This is a very old palette that I still use. And I'm going to use a more peachy and corally and pinkish shade to create that define. And the placement that I'm going for is like on my cheekbones, like to create that contour like effect with my blush. Using my Nykaa Lips Don't Lie pencil in the shade Head Over Heels, I'm going to outline my lips, and I'm going to follow the natural shape of my lips, and I am not going to overline it at all because red lips really look good when you actually follow the actual shape of your lips. Once I have traced my lips, I am actually going to make the lip pencil a little darker on the edges so that it pops. I mean, I want my red lip to be intense for that Christmas like look. This is a look where my eyes are also very intense at the same time. My lips are also very intense, and I'm going to use MAC Ruby Roo. It's a classic shade for Christmas, and I'm going to use it on my lips. And yeah, I mean, this lip is looking really nice. Now using the highlighting shade from the same contour and highlight palette from Nykaa, I'm going to highlight the high points of my cheeks and a little on my nose, a little around my eyebrows and my lips and my chin, and I just want my entire face to like glow. Now taking my empowered palette again, I'm going to take the shade Legacy and I'm going to place it on my lower lash line. I'm going to blend it over there because I don't want to use any sort of kajal, but still I want that little eyeshadow going on my lower lid. And for my waterline, I think I'll be using a white color pencil. This is from Wet n Wild and I'm going to use it on my waterline to make my eyes look a little bigger. Using my Maybelline Hyper Curl Mascara, I will be using it on my lower lash line and I'll be coating my eyelashes really well with it. This mascara is perfect for your lower lash line because इसमें ज़्यादा pigments नहीं है and you don't want any sort of harsh pigments on your lower lash. So I prefer to use this mascara. And then I'll using the shade Moon Dust and I'm going to highlight the inner part of my lash line. Using my PAC ka makeup fixer, I am fixing my base and that's it. That's a look. If you like it, like, share and subscribe.